These are the scariest true experiences from people who were home alone until they realized someone or something wasn't supposed to be there. I grew up in a quiet, lonely house. One of those homes that always feels a little too cold, a little too still, even in the middle of the afternoon. My parents worked late, so being alone after school became normal for me. I got used to the silence, or I thought I did. I was 16 when it happened. That age where you're old enough to stay home alone, but young enough for your imagination to still get the better of you. But what I saw wasn't imagination. It was November. Gray clouds, barely any daylight. I remember entering the house, dropping my bag, and immediately noticing something strange. The air felt heavier. Not cold, just heavy, like the house itself was holding its breath. I shook it off and went to the bathroom to wash up. And that's where everything began. When I stepped in front of the bathroom mirror, I noticed something wrong. Not with my reflection, but with the space behind me. In mirrors, the bathroom door is always visible just over your shoulder. Except this time. It was open, but I had just walked in. I hadn't opened anything. I froze, staring in the mirror at the crack of darkness behind me. At first, I thought maybe I had left it open. Maybe I was imagining things. I turned around physically. The door was closed. I slowly turned back to the mirror. In the reflection, the door was still open. I felt the back of my neck go cold. This wasn't a flash of shadow or a trick of light. The door was fully open in the reflection, wide enough that I could see the hallway. But the real door? Closed. Locked. Right behind me. I stepped closer to the mirror, trying to figure out what I was seeing. The hallway in the reflection looked darker than usual. Much darker. And then, in the reflection, something moved in the hallway. Not walked. Not ran. Just shifted. Like someone adjusting their weight. I leaned in. Squinted. Heart pounding. And then a shape appeared behind the open door. A man, tall, thin, wearing what looked like an old coat. He wasn't facing me. He was facing the bathroom door, the one that was closed in reality. In the mirror, he slowly turned his head toward me. I stumbled back, knocking over a cup, but never took my eyes off the glass. The man in the reflection stepped closer, emerging from the darkness of the hallway. His face slowly came into view. Pale, sunken eyes, a mouth too wide, like he was forcing a smile he didn't remember how to make. I ran out of the bathroom, slammed the door. I stood there, panting, listening, waiting for footsteps, for the door handle to turn, for anything. Nothing happened. 2 hours passed before my parents came home. I couldn't stop thinking about the man. Was he real? Was he some kind of hallucination? I didn't go back into that bathroom for 3 days. When I finally got the courage, I opened the door, stepped inside, and forced myself to look at the mirror. Nothing unusual. Except, the mirror had a smudge on the inside. On the other side of the glass. A long, vertical streak, like someone had dragged their finger down the mirror while watching me. And that wasn't the last time. For weeks, I'd catch glimpses. A shadow moving behind me when the door was closed. A pale face watching from the corner. The reflection showing things the real room didn't. But the worst moment came a month later. I woke up at 3 a.m. The air, heavy again. I heard something faint from the bathroom across the hallway. Tap, 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 like a fingernail against a mirror. I laid frozen, listening. Then, clearer. Tap, tap, tap. I slowly sat up. The bathroom was pitch black. And then came the sound that still haunts me, even now. A long, dragging finger across glass. Scree. The next morning, I checked the mirror. A new mark was there. But this time, it wasn't a vertical streak. It was a handprint. A full, perfect handprint. On the inside of the mirror. To this day, I still don't know what I saw. A ghost, a hallucination, something else entirely. But I moved out the moment I turned 18. My mother still lives there. She complains sometimes that the bathroom mirror always feels dirty no matter how much she cleans it. She asked me once, "Why do you think these streaks keep showing up? They're always shaped like fingers." I didn't have an answer. But the next time I visited, I made sure to avoid that hallway entirely. And the terrifying part is, the next story proves that sometimes, what you see when you're home alone doesn't come from the mirror at all. Sometimes, it's already inside your house. And it's waiting for you to notice it. Drop of Blood Story 2, The Thing at the Top of the Stairs. I used to think fear only existed in the dark. But I learned that sometimes, fear waits in the places you walk every single day. Like a staircase. I grew up in a split-level home. Living room downstairs, bedrooms upstairs. The stairs were old wood, creaking with every step. When I was young, the sound comforted me. I always knew when someone was coming up or down. But when I turned 17, something changed. The stairs didn't feel safe anymore. It started on a normal Wednesday night. My parents were out, and I was home alone working on homework in the living room. Around 11 p.m., I heard footsteps upstairs. Slow, steady, unmistakable. I froze. We didn't have pets. No open windows. No one else had a key. I waited, listening. Step, step, step. But the eerie thing was, the footsteps didn't move across the floor. They stayed in the same spot, right at the top of the stairs. I walked quietly toward the staircase and looked up. The hallway light was off, so the upper level was pitch black. But I could still sense it, someone standing there. Someone watching. I whispered, "Mom." Silence. Then, creak, like weight shifting on the top step. I backed away. Hard. After a minute, the footsteps stopped. Later, when my parents came home, I told my dad. He brushed it off as house settling. But the house had settled for years. It never sounded like that. Over the next week, things escalated. Every night, around the same time, something waited at the top of the stairs. Sometimes it was footsteps. Sometimes breathing. Sometimes a shadow darker than the darkness around it. One night, I gathered courage and climbed the stairs slowly, holding my phone light in front of me. The air got colder with each step. Halfway up, my light flickered. The moment it did, I heard a whisper. "Don't." It was right above me. I ran back down and refused to sleep upstairs. For 3 nights straight, I slept on the couch. By the 4th night, I convinced myself I was being dramatic, that none of this could be real. But the thing at the top of the stairs wasn't finished with me. The night, everything changed. It was around 2 a.m. I woke up on the couch because I heard something new. Not footsteps. Not whispers. Breathing. Slow. Deep. Wet-sounding breathing. Coming from halfway down the stairs. My eyes snapped open. I turned my head just enough to see the staircase out of the corner of my eye. Something was there. Not fully in the light. Not fully out of it. A shape. A figure. Like a man crouching on all fours, halfway down the steps. I didn't move. I didn't breathe. Because the moment I looked directly at it, it turned its head toward me. Not its body. Just its head. Slow. Unnatural, like bones grinding against each other. Even in the dark, I could see its face. Pale skin. No eyes. Just deep black sockets that seemed to look straight into me. It started crawling down the stairs. One step at a time. Hands and feet hitting the wood with soft, wet thumps. I scrambled backward, but my body felt numb. The thing reached the bottom step and stopped. It tilted its head again, fuller this time, like it was studying me. Then it spoke. Not in a growl. Not in a whisper. In a voice that sounded shockingly human. "You shouldn't be awake." I wanted to scream, but my throat locked. My heart hammered so hard I thought I'd pass out. And then, the front door opened. My mom walked in, grocery bags in her hands. The moment the light from the hallway hit the room, the thing vanished. Not like someone running. Not like it faded. 1 second it was there, the next gone. Like it had been erased from reality. My mom saw me on the floor, shaking uncontrollably. I tried to explain, but the words wouldn't come out properly. She thought I was having a panic attack. I couldn't sleep for days. Every creak, every sound, I thought it was coming back. But the story doesn't end there. The real disturbance came later. 2 weeks after that night, my parents decided to renovate the upstairs hallway and tear up the old floorboards. The contractor called my dad during school hours, telling him he found something weird. When I got home, I expected to see dust, tools, maybe new wood. Instead, I saw 3 men in the hallway staring at a black stain on the floor. The contractor looked pale when he spoke to us. He said, "This isn't water damage. This is dried blood. A lot of it." They found out a man had lived in our house 20 years earlier. He had mental health issues, and one night, he took his own life. Right at the top of the stairs. And he wasn't found for 3 days. His body had rolled halfway down the steps. That's where the stain was. That's where I saw the thing crouching. That's the same step where I heard breathing. Even after they replaced the boards, the upstairs still felt wrong. I moved into the basement the next week. I still hear things sometimes. Not footsteps now. Just slow, soft breathing from the top of the stairs. As if something is still waiting there. Watching. Listening. Remembering. And if you think that was terrifying, the final story is even worse. Because sometimes, What you see when you're home alone isn't a ghost, and isn't human either. Sometimes, it's something we don't even have a name for. Story 3. The Thing That Knew My Name. I've always liked being home alone. The silence never bothered me. The stillness of an empty house felt peaceful, familiar, controlled. But I learned very quickly, silence can become terrifying when it answers back. This happened 2 years ago, during a typical winter break. My parents were out of town, and I had the whole house to myself for a full week. I planned on doing nothing important, just late nights, snacks, and horror movies. On the 4th night, around 1 a.m., I was lying on the couch scrolling through my phone. The house was quiet, the kind of quiet where you can hear the fridge humming 3 rooms away. Then my phone buzzed. A notification, a text message, from an unknown number. It just said, "Hi Alex." There was nothing scary about seeing my own name, except for the fact that no one calls me Alex. Everyone uses my full name, Alexander. Always. I stared at the message, confused. Probably a spam bot, I thought. I locked my phone and tossed it aside. 5 minutes later, another buzz. This time, "I can see you." I stopped breathing for a second. I slowly picked up my phone. No profile picture. No previous messages. Just that one sentence. I typed back, "Who is this?" The reply came instantly. "Why aren't you smiling anymore, Alex?" My heart dropped into my stomach. Someone was watching me. I looked around the room. The blinds were closed. No windows facing the street. No cameras in the house. No reason anyone should know what my face looked like at that exact moment. I stood up, trying to calm myself down. Maybe it was someone from school messing with me. Maybe it was nothing. But then another message popped up. "Don't turn on the lights." My hand froze on the switch. Then another text. "I'm not hiding from you." A chill crawled up my spine. I typed with shaking fingers. "What do you want?" This time, no text came. Instead, my phone began ringing. Unknown caller. No ringtone. Just a vibration so intense it felt like the whole house was humming. I didn't answer. The call stopped. Then a voicemail appeared. I pressed play. The message was nothing but breathing. Slow, wet, heavy breathing. Exactly like someone standing right behind me. I spun around immediately. Nothing. I grabbed a knife from the kitchen drawer and went room to room, flicking lights on despite the warning. There was no one in the house. Everything was exactly the way I left it. Except one thing. The back door, the one I always locked, was cracked open by about an inch. Cold air slipped in through the gap. My stomach tightened. Had someone been inside? Were they still inside? I checked every closet, every corner, even under the furniture. I found nothing. No sign of forced entry. No footprints. No open windows. I convinced myself someone must have texted me from outside, and I panicked. That was the only explanation that didn't make me lose my mind. I triple-checked the locks and finally laid back down on the couch. I shouldn't have. It got worse the next night. Around 12:30 a.m., I heard something move in the kitchen. A single sound. Not loud. Not violent. But unmistakable. A soft, deliberate click. The sound of a cabinet door closing. I sat up. My house is old. The wood expands at night. The pipes bang sometimes. But no pipe sounds like someone gently closing a kitchen cabinet. I slowly walked toward the kitchen, gripping a flashlight. When I reached the doorway, I stopped cold. All the cabinet doors were open. Every single one. Wide open. I didn't do that. No one else was home. The room felt colder than the rest of the house, like the air was thinner. Then my phone vibrated again. A new message. "Are you looking for me?" I didn't respond. Then, "Don't be scared. I've known you for a long time, Alex." I swallowed hard, trying to keep myself together. Then another buzz. "Come back to the living room." I didn't want to, but something in me needed to know what was happening. I backed away slowly, not taking my eyes off the kitchen. When I reached the living room, I froze. My TV was on, but not showing anything. Just a black screen. And then I noticed it. There was a reflection on the screen. A faint silhouette standing directly behind me. Tall. Still. Human-shaped, but not quite. I spun around. No one. But the reflection remained. Like whatever was behind me was only visible in the TV. It slowly raised its arm and pointed at me. At the exact same moment, my phone buzzed again. A single message. "Smile." The lights flickered. And for a split second, just a fraction of a second, I saw a face appear behind me in the TV's reflection. Pale skin. Wide grin. Eyes too dark. Too deep. And worst of all, it was my face. But wrong. Stretched. twisted, like something trying to copy me, and failing. The screen went dark. The reflection vanished. And then the house fell silent. Dead silent. The night it finally showed itself. I made it through the next few days by staying out of the house as much as possible. I slept at friends' places, at school, anywhere but home. But on the final night before my parents came back, I decided to face it one last time. I don't know why. Maybe I wanted closure. Maybe I wanted proof that I wasn't losing my mind. I walked inside around 9 p.m. Everything looked normal. Too normal. I sat on the couch quietly, waiting. At 1:17 a.m., the same time as before, the house breathed. Not the pipes. Not the wind. The house itself. Like the walls inhaled. Then I heard my name. But not from my phone. Not a message. A voice. Alex. Soft. Calm. Right beside my ear. I turned so fast I nearly fell off the couch. Nothing. Then the voice came again. From the hallway this time. Come here. My legs moved on their own. I walked toward the hallway, toward the darkness. Halfway there, a tall figure stepped out from the shadows. It was me. Not pale. Not twisted. Not monstrous. It looked exactly like me. Same clothes. Same posture. Same face. It smiled. See? I told you I know you. I stumbled backward, shaking. My mind was spiraling. Was it real? Was I hallucinating? Was this even happening? The thing took a step closer. You invited me in the moment you answered your phone. Another step. I've been here for years. Its smile widened unnaturally, stretching too far, skin pulling at the corners. I just wanted you to notice. I bolted. I didn't look back. I sprinted out the front door, down the street, barefoot, screaming for help. By the time police arrived, nothing was in the house. Everything was normal. Too normal. No open cabinets. No texts on my phone. Not even a record of the unknown number. But the officers did find something else. Outside my bedroom window, in the snow, were footprints. Bare footprints. Just one pair. Leading to my window. Not a way that I've never gone back to that house. My parents sold it a month later. They still think I had some kind of breakdown. But sometimes, at night, I get a text message from a blocked number. Always the same word. Hi. No matter where I move. No matter how far I go. Something always knows my name. If you made it this far, you're officially braver than most people who started this video. Stories like these stay with you. They hide in the back of your mind, waiting for the moment you're alone, and the house gets a little too quiet. If you want more real experiences, unexplained encounters, and the kind of stories that make the dark feel darker, you know where to find them. Choose another video. Just maybe don't watch it alone. I'll see you there.